I could not save my own world, but I will save this one.
I mean, everything down to just the way that, like, I guess you wouldn't call it armor if he's,
it's like his body.
yeah, like his body. Just the way that his body has all of those artistic details on it is incredible.
Yeah.
And that astrolabe.
And that astrolabe.
There's every single one of the magic skins is loaded with references to the game. There are visual effects that are referencing specific cards. There are voice lines referencing specific cards.
Yeah.
A lot of different stuff for Magic fans to see. One of the main inspirations for the astrolabe was the card Chalice of the Void.
Yeah.
Atlas being a cosmic character and having these kind of gravitational pull type of effects. That made a lot of sense with the Void. So we have this black and white Void style, which is, also something we have in Smite. So we got a really great connection there between Magic Universe and Smite Universe. And it fits Karn super well to have this, powerful artifact that he fights with.
Yeah, I love the colors for this. It's kind of like, there's a lot of that, like you said, black and white, but there's like some silvers mixed into there. I don't know, it's just entrancing to look at.
You can also see little bits of liquid metal.
Yeah.
Which is also a feature of Karn. If you're a more hardcore player like myself, you're very familiar with the main way Karn is played in the game, where he is able to tutor up artifact cards from his sideboard, one of which is one that turns everything into artifacts, and therefore becomes unusable because Karn can make artifacts be... So he can pretty much negate any card in the game by using his passive ability, which makes artifacts not be able to be activated, and turning things into artifacts using the liquid metal. So we got that reference in there too. Also, his ultimate references as another specific part in Karn's storyline. So you get kind of a rainbow here. You get all 5 colors of magic.
Yeah.
Kind of referencing one of the older storylines where Karn was on the team known as the Weatherlight team, who worked together to create this thing known as the Legacy Weapon.
Oh, a battleground. Perfect. Plenty of options for a necromancer.
Oh, yeah.
The card art displayed that well. So again, like with the last one, so much work and effort and love went into this. We're gonna see it in game. Let's hop in and keep viewing these.
Oh, she's so pretty.
She is.
I can't get over it. She's so pretty.
Again, with the purples, I'm a sucker for anybody with purple in their character design. So
Well, Liliana, an absolutely iconic design from the Magic the Gathering team, really wanted to make sure we got her into this event. She's the representative of the black mana characters, planeswalkers. Black mana uses a lot of death magic and discard spells. There's also a lot of purple used in the card arts of various magic. So really, I don't have them all on hand. I should have double checked my notes even deeper. But we had at least one specific card reference for every single magic character's every single ability.
that's so crazy.
So like there's a very common concept of magic like Death Clouds, Death Fog, that kind of fits to her one. There's her clay soldiers, which are reskinned as the Eternals from the War of the Spark, and Liliana's absolutely epic moment in battling Nicol Bolas.
Minions.
So we have her summoning Eternals as her zombies of choice for her sort of raised dead themed
so
clay soldiers
cool.
in Smite.
Yeah. Again, it's just watching the inspiration for these skins come to life. Oh, wow, that's awesome. The big ring of purple.
Yes, that's a reference to the card Damnation, which is a board
Great
wipe.
card. Love that card.
Yes.
It makes sense to use a board wipe for a global ult.
Other cards that inspired Liliana was Liliana.
Hope they're ready for it to get a bit hot in here.
I love that. Short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah, she's a little more of the casual of the Planeswalkers, right? So that's her Pele's speed boost.
Yeah.
Oh, and then when it boosts up.
This was inspired by and this and her ability too were kind of inspired by magic cards like Pyroclasm, Whip Flare, these idea that's red spells that deal a lot of damage to all the small creatures around her. Ability 1, I believe, is a Phoenix. You can see that kind of bird shape. So there's a card called Chandra's Phoenix.
Hold this for me.
There's all that was worked into it. There's your Pyroclasm type effect, which worked super well for Pele's Magma ability.
Yeah. I at one point had like 5 or 7 pyroclasms. I don't know how I ended up with so many. I did drafts and it just kept showing up.
It's a good card.
It is a good card.
And so the ultimate also has some red lightning worked into the initial hit, which you can see in cards like Lightning Bolt, one of Lermy and I's absolute favorite cards in the game.
Oh yeah,
Classic.
a powerful
or Chain
card.
Lightning. And then also you see a unique anim set specifically for Chandra Pele because Pele has weapons, so we had to.
I am the voice of the Praetors. I am Atraxa.
Oh,
with the bow.
nice timing.
That's
So
epic.
good.
Wow, this is absolute peak. Like, I will be using this Thanatos skin probably forever because it's just that cool.
Yeah.
Atraxa's like, I guess head, crown, I don't know what you'd call that, but it has such a presence. Like the bow as the head came back up, that just watching that whole,
Oh, there it is again.
yeah, it turns the head up and you see all of that and all the ornament. It's just incredible to look at.
Well, props to the Magic team for the initial design and all the artists who have done Atraxa cards in the past that are just gorgeous. And props to our team for reinterpreting these characters into 3D and working through the models, as well as our illustration team who got to illustrate Magic characters at a very similar, type of illustration quality that Magic cards themselves are printed in. So it was really fun because we even call our Smite illustrations our cards, right?
Yeah.
Card art. So it was just really fun to work through that with the illustration team. Amazingly talented group on the Smite team, some of which we've also done some contract opportunities for Magic cards as well. Shout out to John, who recently had a Magic card release. As you can see, she uses her iconic staff, which has a strong reference to the Phyrexia symbol, which is kind of a circle with a vertical line through it. And you can see a lot of visual effects that are references to the Phyrexian glistening oil, which is kind of this
crazy.
magical sludge
Ooh, very sludgy.
Very
that
sludgy.
is used to fuel their evil artifacts. And then you also see some good hints of green in there, and that kind of calls out a lot of the Phyrexian effects, like the Infect effect, which is very powerful in Magic.
Yeah.
An alternative way to kill your opponent, which is...
Let me guess. You're thinking you need a game plan.
Magic known for wizards and warlocks, sorcerers, that type of archetype. Wizards, I'd say, is probably the one that you see a lot of cards with that type on now.
Yeah.
Jace is like, he really embodies that archetype visually, which is really cool for the event as well as for seeing. So we've got him spawning clones of himself for that attack,
cool.
which that's an extremely common thing for Jace to do, is to make clones. You can see that across a couple different cards like Spark Double and some of Jace's most recent Planeswalker cards. We have, throughout his abilities, we have some of the glyphs and runes, which you'll see in a lot of his cards, such as Jace the Mind Sculptor, Jace's Archivist.
Yeah.
His magic has this type of almost like lettering to it. So we have that worked throughout the kit.
Ooh, and then Huang has some dragons, right? Whoa.
That is true. So Jace has a sidekick character here. The concept of making illusory creatures is also a very common thing in Magic. There's illusory bear, or phantasmal bear, phantasmal dragon.
Yeah.
They're effectively illusion, blue versions of other creatures. They're effectively powerful in their aggression, but they are easily dispelled. So for Jace's dragons, he summons these illusory eels, which are based off of the card Jace's Mind Seeker. So there's actually a specific card where Jace has this creature pictured on him with it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Another direct reference.
It's a little bit of a deep track card.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's from an earlier core set. It didn't see much competitive play, but the fact that it was a specific reference to a specific card